Hi, I'm Linda McNaughton with the Calgary Prostate Cancer Centre, and I'm here today with Bret the Hitman Hart, WWE Hall of Famer. Bret, today we're here to talk about your experience with prostate cancer, and just hoping you can share a bit about what you went through. When you first heard the word cancer, how did that feel to you?
Well, I think just for anybody, it's the same thing. It's a terrifying word. You know, I was terrified of what that meant, and had to take a good long look at it and figure out where I stood.
Mm-hmm. Do you remember how your cancer was diagnosed firstly?
You know, I was one of those guys that by having early testing, my PSA levels put me in that sort of middle ground area where I was sort of on active surveillance. And over a period of time, my PSA levels rose to the point where it was time for me to look at my options as far as surgery went.
Okay. And you've traveled all over the world. Why did you choose Calgary's Prostate Cancer Centre for your treatment?
Wow, it's always easier, of course, living here, you know, to do something something of that serious kind of nature. You want to be as close to home as possible. But aside from that, you know, I did a lot of research. I checked with a lot of different doctors and a lot of different people, and I was surprised to find that Calgary right here has one of the best prostate cancer centers in the world. I mean, it's second to none. I had no misgivings about actually staying here in Calgary and having the surgery done here. I was very comfortable with my doctor. I was very fearful of making a decision where I was going to maybe settle for less by doing the surgery here. But I'm happy to say that getting it done here in Calgary is probably the best decision I ever made.
Good. Can you tell us a bit about the process and how it went?
You know, the whole process was, you know, it was very scary for me to, as I went leading into it, I was very fearful of all the things that you think about, you know, how it's going to affect your life after, whether you're actually going to be free and clear of cancer. You know, just, I think there's a lot of things that a man, you know, fears that you'll lose a lot of your, you know, functions, your manly functions after, and you know, I think I stressed a lot about that, but and the recovery. I thought the recovery was going to be a long, slow, sort of debilitating kind of struggle where it took me a long time to get back to normal, say. Yeah. And you know, and going through the whole process, I can say that it was much easier than I thought. The recovery was, I was out of the hospital in almost, I think, 2 days I was out. Wow. The period of recovery was really a couple of weeks, really, where it was sort of, just had to be kind of careful and just follow what your doctor tells you to do. And you know, I'd say after about 2 weeks, once the catheter came out, and I felt pretty close to normal all the way through it. I felt, you know, I felt like that it was certainly like survivable, that it wasn't the big fear. A lot of my fears sort of started to subside, and I can say now, after I'm more, you know, I think it's a couple, 2 to 3 months past now. I feel quite comfortable saying that I'm pretty much back to a normal life, and the recovery wasn't near as bad as I thought it was going to be.
Good. So you have fans all over the world. And why do you think it's important to share your journey with prostate cancer with all those men and women?
Well, I think cancer, maybe in general, and especially prostate cancer, is one that you tend to, you know, you're a little bit shamed by it, or you feel like people will look at you and feel different about you. And you know, I thought about all that, and you know, as I got closer, I kind of kept things to myself for quite a while. Not for those reasons so much, just because I didn't want all the questions, and I didn't want to overly put a lot of concern on a lot of other, like all my family and people around me, and I come from a huge family, so it's like, you know, I just thought it'd be when I get closer to the surgery date, all the people know what's going on, as for sort of telling the world about it, I realized that my reluctance to sort of come forward was normal. That there's a lot of men that are, and I spoke to different people that had gone through prostate cancer, and there was some that sort of are outspoken about it, and there was some that shied away from telling anybody and kept it to themselves. And I realized that there's an important lesson because 1 in 7 men are gonna get prostate cancer in their lifetime, and it's a very normal thing to go through. There's somebody you know, or yourself, a man, somebody in your family, or someone you know closely is going to probably have prostate cancer in their lifetime. And I'm kind of more of having coming forward. I think I'm more of an advocate to say, don't be afraid of coming forward, and certainly don't be afraid of getting checked, because you need to know. The sooner you know, the better your chance you have of having a really good recovery. And early testing is the key to all, probably all cancer, but especially with prostate cancer. And coming forward for me was, I wanted to set an example, I think, to men around the world that don't be afraid of prostate cancer. Face it head on, and set an example for everyone else by coming forward, rather than shying away from that responsibility to win your toughest battles.
So Calgary's pretty unique because we have a world-class prostate cancer facility. Do you think it's important that we have a facility like that right here in Calgary?
Oh, it's for someone here in Calgary, it's a blessing. It's really a real. I had people that called me from the United States, and doctors and people that tried to sway me into going to this place or going there or coming here, and aside from the expenses that you might pay somewhere else. In Canada, this facility here in Calgary is second to none. I mean, it's as good as anywhere in the world, and I'm living proof of that. And I had such a good experience with my whole prostate cancer, like the surgery, the nursing, the care I got afterwards, the help that I've had from the experts and the doctors that did the surgery, and my physio and my recovery since then. It's been, for a guy that's had to go through a few surgeries, it was much more less bumps in the road than I thought there was going to be.